All right, let's do this. I know I'm a couple of days late, but I didn't want to upload this like as soon as the DLC dropped. Maybe I should have. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But today we're going to be going through all the stats of the new Mega Pokemon released in the Pokemon Legends EA Mega Dimensions DLC, and I'm going to be giving my thoughts on it. But yeah, I'm a little tired today. I was up late watching John Cena tap out to Gunther. But yeah, anyways, I'm going to talk about these new Megas, give my thoughts on them as far as VGC goes, and if they're not applicable to VGC, I guess I'll give a little bit of singles thoughts. I'm not really a singles guy. And yeah, the title does say Moxie boosted reacts to all new Mega stats. Like, yeah, is it in the third person? Yeah, that's good for clicks, I assume. I don't know. This is my clips channel. I don't even run this channel. This is my clips channel. Okay. So, we have a lot of Megas to cover today, so we're going to go through this. Also, I'm going to name the box. Mega Dimensions DLC Megas. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna go through Raichu X, Y, Chimecho, Absol Z, Staraptor Z, Garchomp Z, Lucario Z, Heatran, Golurk, Meowstic, Crabominable, Golisopod, Magearna, Zeraora, Scovillain, Glimmora, Tatsugiri, Baxcalibur, and Darkrai. The thing is, among all these Pokemon, I'd say only a few really needed the Mega. I think Absol did not need a second Mega. You fumbled your first shot. That first Mega, absolutely useless. It wasn't a good special attacker, and it was only a mediocre physical attacker. The Z Mega is just objectively better. There's no reason to even go back to use the regular Mega, you know? I don't even think there's really a niche for it, especially since you don't know the abilities yet. Who else really needed the Mega? I mean, Meowstic, yeah, Crabominable, Golisopod, Scovillain. I don't think that that Glimmora annoys me, by the way. I'll talk about why I'm annoyed by Mega Glimmora later. Tatsugiri, I kind of get it. Everything else, Chimecho needed it too, and I guess Raichu. Everything else, I'm like, you were fine. But I understand why they got Megas. It's like, you know, purely marketing. But let's start with Mega Raichu X. So Mega Raichu X has 60 HP, 135 attack, 95 defense, 90 special attack, 95 special defense, and 110 speed. I think it not getting any faster than base Raichu is really interesting. I'm correct on that, right? Base Raichu is 110 speed. Yeah, it just gets bulkier, which I find kind of interesting. We do know that it does have one specific ability in-game. If it uses Volt Tackle, it has a special effect on Volt Tackle where it will get an attack boost every time it uses it. It's only Volt Tackle. I've had people be like, well, is it all recoil moves? I'm like, man, I just told you it was Volt Tackle. Why are you asking me if it's all recoil moves or all electric moves? I just told you it was just Volt Tackle. It not being fighting type is a little disappointing. I wish it was like electric fighting, because then Volt Tackle into Drain Punch would actually be a really sick combo, because then you would get like the max, or you get the attack boost and then be able to recover off the recoil. But unfortunately, no, that isn't the case. As for right now, I'm going to say that like, in doubles, I don't really see this thing being all that strong. Maybe it could be. I mean, like, you could really bulk it out. It only has like 60 HP, right? But I would say that like you just need to hit like the base 100, right? So like, what is it? Charizard. How fast does Charizard get in doubles? Let me set these all to level 50 real quick. Or I guess I'll just set the level 50 here. But yeah, I would imagine like the way that you would run this guy. Charizard hits Timid, level 50, 167 speed, 67. Okay, so you want to hit 168 with this guy, which you would have to run like a Jolly Nature to do. And once you hit 168, you're outspeeding all the base 100s, which means that your speed time with like Landorus, you could technically go like one further if you don't speed high Landorus. And then probably just enough attack where you're like OHKOing what you want to OHKO with like Volt Tackle. I don't know, let's go with like 156 attack, whatever, and then you just like put the rest in HP. Well, now you have like Volt Tackle, you have Fake Out, you'd probably like set up a Tailwind and then just Volt Tackle, get the boost. You have Drain Punch for like coverage and like Steel types and Rock types and whatever, Dark types. And then at that point, I wish he got Ice Punch. If this guy got Ice Punch, I think he'd be like really solid, but it's probably just gonna be like Protect. You could also drop like Drain Punch for any other strong physical move. Knockoff's probably not that bad. But yeah, I think that this is not necessarily a fumbled Pokemon. I think that like the stats are pretty good all around. It's like decently bulky, but it's not super bulky. It's like fast enough to get what it needs to get done. And that's kind of cool. I think that like its real potential is going to be in singles, because in singles you can actually do something kind of cool. And that's just agility Volt Tackle sets, like agility Volt Tackle, knockoff, Drain Punch, whatever like you need for coverage, right? Because you set up the agility, right? You go like Adamant Nature, you max out like your HP, max out your attack, and you only need enough speed where at +2 you're gonna outspeed everything. You agility up on like a switch, and then you Volt Tackle into like the opponent, and at that point, you know, since you maxed out your HP, yeah, are you gonna take a lot of recoil? Like if you try to hit Staraptor, right? Staraptor, you know, with no HP investment, let's go like 4 HP investment, 161 speed, you're taking like 80 recoil on that. That is half of Raichu's health, but that means that Raichu is gonna get like three-ish Volt Tackles off. And I mean, like, that's like a Pokemon with 85 HP. Most Pokemon don't have like 85 HP, right? But then again, you could also like Volt Tackle into freaking Heatran, and then you take more. You could Volt Tackle into like something with 100 HP, and then it's not gonna end up well. 97 HP, yeah. That's like the issue. It doesn't have high enough HP where like it's gonna Volt Tackle and sweep through your entire teams, but it is gonna be able to like get you a lot of momentum, like take a few KOs, and I think that's like kind of cool. This is definitely a singles Pokemon more than anything. I don't know if it's gonna be great in doubles.
This channel is partnered with Gamersupps. If you want to support my work and get great tasting drinks, you can order Gamersupps through my link in the description down below, or with code Moxie boosted at checkout for 10% off. Gamersupps is a caffeinated product that I recommend only to my 18+ viewers, but my link will send you to their caffeine-free product section just in case. Every product purchased through my link supports my channel financially, so I'd really appreciate the support. Now back to the video.
Mega Raichu, why? Scary. I'm gonna just say scary. By the way, we don't know their official abilities yet. This is just the Showdown metagame, assuming, or trying to predict them. It's a scary Mega. I think that 130 speed, 160 special attack is nothing to scoff at. Still gets Fake Out. It's got Thunderbolt. It gets coverage. You know, it gets Raichu coverage, and Raichu coverage is questionable, which means that yeah, it does get like Draining Kiss, I guess. But as far as special moves, you know, you're probably gonna run like Alluring Voice, and then at that point it's like not much, right? Like what's his strongest special move? Surf? Probably Grass Knot. Yeah, Grass Knot or Focus Blast, and like this is basically just gonna be the set. You could also like drop one of your moves for Protect or Focus Blast. Here's the thing, it doesn't get a Focus Sash. This is definitely a singles Pokemon. Both of the Raichu, I would say, are better in singles. Base Raichu is going to be the best for doubles because it gets Fake Out and like Lightning Rod and stuff. But assuming that this guy loses Lightning Rod, it's not incredible. Doesn't get to hold a Focus Sash. It's a little iffy. Yeah, I think that they're both just okay in doubles. Mega Chimecho. Mega Chimecho, I think, is kind of interesting. Steel Psychic is a pretty good type. What are you weak to? You're weak to Dark, Ghost, Ground, Fire, and I believe that's it. Dark, Ghost, Ground, Fire. Are those common typings? Yeah, but, you know, it's better than being pure Psychic. Steel really helps you out a lot. Offensively, it's solid, too. I mean, like, the only thing you're really not hitting is Incineroar, I think. But, yeah, 135 special attack. It has, like, decent bulk, too. Chimecho starting off with 75 HP is such a blessing, because when you're, like, Raichu, and they try to make you bulky in one of your Mega Forms, and you just don't have the HP to start off with, it can be a little difficult to find the place to put the stats. Where Chimecho, instead of having 60 HP, it has 75 HP. That's really helpful. You can just max that out. It's fairly slow. It could be a Trick Room Mon. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I think that its ability is probably Steel type Liquid Voice, where all of its sound moves become Steel type, and that's really cool. That means that in doubles you could do like a Steel type Boom Burst. I could be completely wrong, by the way. It could just have like Punk Rock or something, but there's no way it doesn't have some kind of sound-based ability. It could also just keep Levitate. Even if it keeps Levitate, it's fine. But it does have access to some cool moves. Psychic Noise, Boom Burst. Hopefully it doesn't keep Levitate, because then it could Expanding Force. You know, that'd be pretty cool. What else? It's probably just gonna be like a Calm Mind Pokemon. But here's the thing with like a Calm Mind Mega. It's probably not gonna be incredible. Because it doesn't get any recovery, I think. Do you get recover? Oh, it does get recover. Okay, wait, no, that changes a lot. If it gets recover, Calm Mind, I think, is a viable set. In doubles, it's going to be, like, okay. I think in singles is probably where it's going to be better. You run, like, a very physically defensive set. You, like, Calm Mind up and then try to, like, just wall things out and sweep. Probably a lot of physical defense. And even, like, if you're playing singles, like, your move is probably going to be stored power. So I could see this being, like, a good stored power mon in singles. But in doubles, it's, like, it's just okay. You know, it's not going to be the greatest of all time unless it gets Expanding Force. If it gets Expanding Force, then yeah, that's pretty good. Because then you could do, like, Boom Burst Expanding Force stuff. Mega Absol Z. Mega Absol Z. You know, they gave it a second chance, and they didn't fumble it this time. Dark Ghost is incredible. It means that, you know, if you're an Absol Z, you're never getting faked out on turn 1. That's a huge risk. You can just send out Absol. They're not faking it out. They know what it's about to do. There's no reason to wait to Mega. It's not like Absol's base abilities are pretty good. We have no idea what this thing's ability is going to be. If it's Magic Bounce, that's pretty good. You can't get burned. But I imagine that isn't what its ability is going to be. It might be Tough Claws, considering the giant claw on its design. But there isn't much to say about this guy. Its moveset is probably going to be like Knock Off, Shadow Sneak, Swords Dance, Protect. Probably throw Sucker Punch on there if you want. You could also do like Phantom Force. What ghost moves do you get that are physical? Just Phantom Force or Shadow Claw. You could do like, I don't know, Shadow Claw and Sucker Punch instead. One of each. It gets decent coverage. I mean, on the special side of things. Physically, it's like Iron Tail, Play Rough, which is a little questionable. Rock Slide's pretty good. Superpower's okay. Zen Headbutt X's are kind of useless. But it's going to be a very good single sweeper. You just Swords Dance up and you start clicking freaking Knock Off, Shadow Sneak, Shadow Claw, whatever you want. It's going to be good. 154, 151, you're outspeeding most Pokemon. The speed tier just went through the roof. That being said, it does not like Flutter Mane. It does not want to deal with Flutter Mane. Flutter Mane not only has the option to run a Focus Sash, but it can also just outspeed you with a booster energy, and then you lose. A lot of people are being like, this is the Calyrex Shadow Killer, and I'm going to tell you something. 60 special defense, 65 HP. This thing is still getting one shot by Astral Barrage. There is no way it's living the Astral Barrage. And the Calyrex gets to click, or the Calyrex gets to hold a Focus Sash. This is not the Calyrex Shadow Killer. It is not. Mega Staraptor. I'm gonna be so honest, guys. Mega Staraptor is disappointing. It's disappointing to me that they went this route with it, and low-key that they even gave it a Mega. And the reason I'm disappointed that they gave it a Mega is because I think Staraptor already had an okay niche in competitive. It was just like the final Gambitmon. And did it lose that niche to Annihilate? Yeah. But it also had Intimidate. So there was something going on there that it could do that Annihilate couldn't. So it was all right. However, now that it is a fighting flying type, it is competing with Galarian Zapdos and Hawlucha. And is there one more? Is there another fighting flying type? I don't know. But the point is, Hawlucha, Mega Hawlucha, Galarian Zapdos, Mega Staraptor. And Flamigo. We have a lot of fighting flying types now, and they all basically have the same moveset. I just don't see what Mega Staraptor is bringing to the table that a Galarian Zapdos doesn't also bring. Because here's the thing. Does it have 140 attack? Is that higher than Galarian Zapdos's, what, 125? Yes. Is it faster than Galarian Zapdos's 100 speed? Yes. But the fact of the matter is, you just get more value out of a Scarf or a Focus Sash Galarian Zapdos. Even Covert Cloak. It just does everything that you want Mega Staraptor to do, but it doesn't waste a Mega Slot. I think that Mega Staraptor in competitive is broadly just outclassed. It's not worth the value of your Mega Slot. Mega Garchomp. This one I find interesting. I have no idea why they said, let's take Mega Garchomp and give him another form. Let's do a second Mega. But now it's a special attacker. Also, something to note, all the Z attackers have very low defenses. Very low defenses. Not super low, but like their defenses get lower. Garchomp drops defense. They couldn't do it with, you know, Absol because its defense was already really low. But Absol doesn't have good defense. Garchomp, it loses defense when it Mega Evolves. I'm pretty sure. What was Garchomp's base defense stat? It's like higher than that, right? Yeah, 95 defense, 85 special defense. Yeah, and I know that, what's his name? Zygarde also drops defense. And we can only assume that Zygarde is a defense Mega. Also, Lucario drops defense. So, what's going on with Garchomp Z? It's got 151 speed. All the Z Megas have 151 speed. Shout out original 151. And 141 special attack. It also still has its 130 attack stat, which is interesting. So is it, how do I explain this? I think that Mega Garchomp is better than base Garchomp for two reasons. In two scenarios, right? Mega Garchomp is better than base Garchomp if you want to outspeed more Pokemon, because you can still do physical Swords Dance sets. It still hits really hard. It's the same attack stat. But now it just has an increased speed and special attack. So that's interesting. Like, if you want to do that, that's fine. You could also just run Scarf Chomp. It's literally, if you want to run fast physical Garchomp, but you don't want to have to use a Choice Scarf, that's Mega Garchomp. Or if you want a special attacker. So there are two reasons to use it. It also got access to Nasty Plot, which I think is pretty cool. So now it can be a special attacker. Earth Power, Draco Meteor, or Dragon Pulse, whatever you want. Does it get Flamethrower? Yeah, it does get Flamethrower. So, like, yeah, Mega Garchomp as a special attacker is scary. I think that Mega Garchomp is probably just gonna be a physical attacker in singles, because it's like a Choice Scarf Garchomp that gets to switch its moves. I think that it's gonna be more common as a physical attacker, even though it has a higher special attack stat. It just has a better physical attack pool, because you get Scale Shot. You get, well, you're probably not gonna run Scale Shot because you don't have loaded dice anymore, but you get like you know, Outrage and Dragon Claw, Earthquake. I think that, like, when you account for the difference in power between Earth Power and Earthquake, you probably just want Earthquake, or maybe it is going to be a good special attacker. I don't know, but I do feel like you just get more out of Swords Dance physical sets, you know. But that's just my thoughts. It also get Vacuum Wave, which is pretty cool. Vacuum Wave is a pretty good move. Mega Lucario Z. Did it lose defense? Let me check Lucario's base defense. 70-70. Okay, no, it keeps its defense low, but like we notice a trend where Z Megas will never get defense. They'll either lose defense or stay the same, which I think is pretty interesting. It's because they're all out offensive Pokemon. It's just straight up glass cannons. Mega Lucario Z is interesting. Like I said, we don't know its ability. Mind's Eye would be interesting. I'm not sure what it'll get. Still gets still has access to like Nasty Plot. And yes, it does have access to Aura Sphere, so Nasty Plot, Aura Sphere could be interesting in singles. As far as other special moves that it gets, I don't know. Steel Beam is pretty good. You're probably just gonna run Flash Cannon though. I guess you could run Steel Beam if you just want like an all-out offensive move. Dark Pulse, Shadow Ball. It's just an okay special attacker. I would go as far to argue that unless you really want a Steel type, you probably just go with like any other special attacker. I don't know. I just don't see it being that threatening. It depends on the ability. If this thing gets a Mega Launcher, like some people are predicting, then yeah, by all means, like that Aura Sphere is going to hit like a Focus Blast. Lack of an item though makes me a bit cautious regarding Mega Lucario Z. It does need like Tailwind, even though that sounds so crazy to say. Oh, 151 speed and it needs Tailwind. Yeah, we have Paradox Pokemon running around. Fluttermane's just going to eat you alive. Iron Bundle can just come in and Hydro Pump you because you don't have like good special defense. It's interesting. I think that it just depends. It's probably gonna be format dependent, but Mega Lucario Z, I'm gonna say I do think that base Lucario is better just because physical attacks hit harder. It gets a better close combat. I'd rather be clicking adaptability close combat off of a lower attack stat than clicking Aura Sphere off of a higher special attack stat, you know. Heatran. I know I sound like a broken record, but it doesn't seem like it's worth running Heatran over the regular Heatran, or Mega Heatran over regular Heatran, because Mega Heatran does get a huge boost to its like bulk. 141 special defense. I think that's physical defense stayed the same, right? But like huge special defensive bulk increase, huge special attack increase. It got 45 extra points on that. And it did get an attack boost. No one really needed the attack boost. It was fine doing what it was. Or doing what it was doing. It also gets a speed drop, which I think is kind of bad for it. Is it like a good, you know, Trick Room special attacker? Yeah, it still gets Heat Wave, still gets Earth Power, still gets everything, right? But there's just no use case for this unless it has a good ability. If it gets Earth Eater, yeah, by all means, Mega Heatran all the way. I don't think it's getting Earth Eater. If it keeps like Flame Body or something, then you just regular Heatran is just so much better. It's like regular Heatran just gets to run it can Choice Scarf, it can Focus Sash, it can Shuka Berry, it can Life Orb. This thing is just stats and a redesign. And that's going to be like the running theme with a lot of these megas. I think that's the major disappointment I have with the megas that were announced, is that they don't substantially do anything for the Pokemon yet. We don't, because if there are abilities, then yeah, I could eat my words in like half these megas, you know. But if like if this is all they get and they get like a mediocre ability, then most of these guys, you just want the base form. That's not true about Golurk. Golurk sucked in his base form. Golurk, this is what I mean. Like, when you take good Pokemon like Garchomp or Heatran and you give them a Mega, there's already so much value on the original form that it's not worth it, you know? Golurk, though. Golurk, originally, we're looking at... You know, that's how bad Golurk was. I had to go look at its stats because I can't remember. I've never used this thing. 89 HP, 124 attack, 80 in both defenses, 55 speed. That's awful. That's awful, especially on a ground ghost type. What should be a great offensive type, wasted on that? No, terrible. Mega Golurk, 159 attack. Huge attack increase. Almost 30 points. Almost 30 points. 105 defense, 105 special defense, and a little bit of special attack. It gets bulkier, and it hits way harder. And if it gets a good ability, God help us all. Because you know what? This guy's got Poltergeist, and he's got Earthquake, and I'm pretty sure he's got high horsepower. Yes, he does. So you can do whatever. Ice Punch. This guy's crazy. You want to know what I hope they give this guy? I hope they give this guy Clear Body. Because if they give this guy Clear Body, Mega Metagross in the trash. You just go into Mega Metagross and you click freaking Poltergeist, hit it with its own Mega Stone, and it just dies. I hope. I wonder how much that does, actually. Let's check. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look here. Oh, wait. I'm going to have to go to the Pokemon Showdown damage calc. Damage calculator, Pokemon Showdown. That's not it. Here it is. Let's check. Metagross. Mega. Blank set. Let's go with like... It does run a decent amount of HP. Let's go with like 100 HP, right? Golurk. They have the Mega yet? They don't have the Mega yet. All right, blank set. Change the attack stat to 159. 159. Let's give it the defense too. I want to see the interactions. 105, 105. Okay. Adamant Nature. Poltergeist. I'm sorry, does it not count the Mega Stone? Metagrossite. There we go. No investment. I'm sorry. Are you looking at this? Are we looking at the same thing? No investment. Poltergeist doing 99% maximum. We max out that attack stat. Adamant Nature. 98 to 116 to 100 HP investment Metagross. If they're just running max speed, they're done. It's just gone. Poltergeist is an incredible move. I mean, you also have like high horsepower. All right. High horsepower, Earthquake, whatever. High horsepower is also doing substantial damage, but Poltergeist is just a stronger move because Poltergeist is 110 attack or 110 base power. Meanwhile, Metagross, what is it doing? Like ice punching you? That's like its best option into this guy, ice punch, and it will run ice punch. 90%, and that's with the Tough Claws boost. I mean, substantial, but bear in mind, you max out that HP stat, give a little bit of defense. Now that ice punch is doing 63 to 75. Just saying, Golurk. Could be him. Meowstic, Mega. This one's interesting. We don't know what ability it's going to have, obviously, but like it can either have competitive or prankster in its base form and then Mega Evolve. This is one of those Megas where you might not want to Mega Evolve at turn 1. Because in the prankster form, Calm Mind all you want. Thunder Wave all you want, right? In the competitive form, try to maybe bait and intimidate. At which point you Mega Evolve and you just go all out with like, you know, probably Expanding Force and Psychic Terrain. We don't know if it'll have Psychic Surge, but it does get Expanding Force. As far as other moves it gets Earth Power, Energy Ball, Dark Pulse. It is a great coverage mon. Alluring Voice. It has like extremely good coverage. This thing can hit so many different Pokemon. Probably middle of the pack because of that. It's just gonna be okay. I think that not having an item slot brings it down, especially 124 speed, not as fast as it used to be. Mega Crabominable. Once again, a case of we took a bad Pokemon and gave it a Mega. Now you actually want to use it over the base Pokemon because Mega Crabominable really does a lot for Crab. Base Crabominable, I used it not too long ago in a video. I used it in a tournament and it was pretty good. Crabominable under Trick Room, terrifying. It hits everything. Mega Crabominable is the exact same thing, but better. Originally, we had 132 attack, 77 defense, 67 special defense. 67. Now with Mega Crab, we go to 157 attack, sky high, 122 defense, 107 special defense. They gave a Pokemon with nearly 100 HP incredible defenses. Is it an ice fighting type? Yes. But now it is a good Trick Room Pokemon because you just get to click freaking Ice Hammer. And after one Ice Hammer, you underspeed a Mungus. Now it can't do anything. You still get close combat. You still get Drain Punch. You still get everything you need. I click Thunder Punch a lot because I like beating Urshifu Water, right? This thing could be good. If it gets Ice Scales, incredible. I kind of hope it just keeps Hyper Cutter, personally. Iron Fist would also be pretty cool. But if it gets Ice Scales and now takes half damage from special moves, awesome. Mega Golisopod. Words cannot express just how much I love this guy. Here's the thing, Mega Golisopod, you could say they hardly changed anything. They gave him 2 extra arms and 2 extra legs. You want to know why they did that? Because Golisopod is already as cool of a design as you can get. So they just said, we'll give you more Golisopod. That's what they did. I have no idea what ability it's going to have. I'm in the camp that if it gets like Water Bubble, I'm down. You know what I really hope it gets? I hope it gets Heat Proof. If it gets Heat Proof, that's crazy because now it's Bug Steel typing. It technically is only ×2 weak to fire, which is incredible. So here's the thing. It does change typing. It is one of the few Megas that changes typing. It goes from Bug Water to Bug Steel. 75 HP, 150 attack, 175 defense, 120 special defense. I know I keep comparing things to Mega Metagross, but we got to put these guys next to each other. We got to put these guys next to each other because it is an apt comparison. Okay, you ready? Check this out. Check this out. Move him right here. All right. Mega Metagross, 80 HP. Golisopod, 75 HP. Metagross, 145 attack. Golisopod, 150 attack. 150 defense. 175 defense. 105 special attack. 70 special attack. He wasn't using it. He wasn't using it. It's fine. 110 special defense. 120 special defense. And the only thing that you could really give Metagross on Golisopod is the speed stat. But here's the thing. Pod doesn't need the speed. Would it like the speed? Yeah, but Pod was never going to get the speed. All the stats that Pod got were put in the exact right place, except for that special attack. Except for that special attack stat. We could have put that somewhere else, you know, maybe give him a little more attack. But Metagross hits like a truck due to Tough Claws, right? I think that Pod's getting Tough Claws too, low-key. Like, he's got the toughest claws in the game. Incredible typing. It's only weak to 1 type. It resists a ton of types. It has access to First Impression still. It's still a Wide Guarder. Leech Life is incredible on this. That it's got that over Scizor. It's got Leech Life. It's got Close Combat, Drill Run. It still gets water coverage to beat the freaking fire types that want to come in on it. And now, for the first time ever, yes, you can Swords Dance with Golisopod. You can Swords Dance. You can go First Impression, Swords Dance, Leech Life, Iron Head. Got Iron Head. That's pretty cool. You could go Sucker Punch. That's pretty cool, right? It walls out Calyrex Ice. Calyrex Ice does not hit this thing. You resist ice. You take neutral from fighting. You take neutral from ground. Urshifu Rapid Strike. Let me show you something. Urshifu Rapid Strike. Go with the Reg Eye set. Reg Eye Glass Cannon. Golisopod. Change him into a Bug Steel type. We boost that defense to 175. We max out this HP. Give him 4 defense. Why not, right? Adamant Nature. And I don't know. Wait, just throw Leech Life in there for fun, right? 52. Urshifu Rapid Strike is taking not much from Leech Life because it resists it, right? But Surging Strikes, Adamant Nature, doing 39 to 46. That's crazy, right? It not even doing half. Not even doing half. Make it do even less if you really wanted to. So you are able to wall that one out. Urshifu Single Strike, that's the real one. That's the real one that I want to talk about though. Let's give it Reg J, Dancing Bear, whatever. Jolly Nature, Wicked Blow, 32 to 39%. That is a 99% chance to 3-hit KO, right? So that means there's a chance at 4-hit KOs. Low key, you could get it to 4-hit KO. Leech Life, it's not 4-hit KOing you now. It's not 3-hit KOing you now. You're getting the 4-hit KO because you're recovering HP from that. 41 to 49%. You know, you can Swords Dance up. Now it's scary. Close Combat, 35 to 41. This thing is defensively absurd. It walls everything. It also has a great Fluttermane matchup. I'm just going to throw that out there. Fluttermane can't hit it. Golisopod, highest potential, I think. Never mind. Magearna, stupid. Why would you do this? Soul Heart gets freaking special attack boost every time anything dies. 80 HP, 115 defense, 170 special attack, 115 special defense, 95 speed. It gets Shift Gear. I mean, it gets Shift Gear and 170 special. That's all I really need to say. This thing is like that. It's going to be oppressive, you know? It's awful. I don't want to face this thing. It's got Shadow Ball. It's got freaking Flare Cannon, Flash Cannon, everything it needs. We're just not even gonna. That's S tier. That's S plus. Like, I don't know. That's S plus. Okay, Zeraora. Let's talk about Zeraora real quick. I think that Zeraora, I don't know. 153 speed. Does it get Swords Dance? Doesn't get Swords Dance. It gets Bulk Up. I could see maybe Zeraora being scary. Doesn't get Ice Punch. It's just like, okay, probably. Plasma Fist is like a great move. They did rework Plasma Fists in ZA, but in the regular game, we're pretty sure it's just going to stand like what it was before. They gave Plasma Fists a chance to flinch in the main game. If they give Plasma Fists a chance to flinch in this one, then yeah, then it's going to be kind of crazy. Close Combat, Blaze Kick. It's just got coverage and it hits hard. Doesn't really have any setup. Maybe. I think it just depends on ability. I could see like Iron Fist being really great for it because now Plasma Fists is what, like 120 base power? That's pretty cool. Scovillain. They made a Gen 3 Pokemon. 138 in both offenses. 138 in both offenses. And 75 speed. Here's the only way it's going to be good. Or passable. It has to keep freaking Chlorophyll. That's the only way. If it keeps Chlorophyll, then yeah. Oh, it doesn't get Heat Wave? Never mind. That sucks. If it keeps Chlorophyll in singles, sorry, I'm so tired. In singles, you have Flamethrower. You have Giga Drain. Does it get Nasty Plot? It does get Nasty Plot. Yeah, I mean, in singles, Nasty Plot could go hard. It's okay, you know? It's a Pokemon. It's certainly a Pokemon. Probably F tier. Glimmora. Glimmora annoys me. They really messed up here. If it gets Rocky Payload, yeah, that'd be cool. Rocky Payload, you boost the power of Rock-type moves. Yeah, Meteor Beam hits like a truck. I think it's just going to keep Toxic Debris. It's just a bigger Glimmora. Here's the thing. It's got to have a good ability, otherwise it's not worth using. It's just worse than regular Glimmora. Regular Glimmora gets to run Power Herb and Meteor Beam. It gets that. This guy doesn't. It gets freaking Power Gem. It gets Power Gem, which isn't great. That's why Rocky Payload kind of matters. Still gets Sludge Bomb. It's like the exact same Pokemon with like slightly higher stats in bulk. But with Glimmora, you get Focus Sash, you get Scarf, you get Power Herb. There's no reason to run this version. It only has 20 more points in special attack, which is like a big boost, right? It's a big boost, but you'd rather just get the boost from Meteor Beam and the Power Herb. It's just better that way. It is a little faster. Base Glimmora is like, what, 81 speed? Yeah, 81 speed, where this is 101 speed. So it is 20 points faster, but I don't think it matters too much. I think that base Glimmora already had like a good Zard matchup. It already had like a pretty even Landorus Eye matchup because you're just Focus Sash through everything. So it's just fine. You can just do that. As far as the Tatsugiri is concerned, I'm not really a Tatsugiri believer. I think that Tatsugiri has... what they did is they made it a good singles Pokemon. It's just not worth running though. In doubles, I would much rather face... Here's how I put it, right? If I were facing a Dondozo team and I had the option between Dondozo and a Tatsugiri holding a Megastone, or Dondozo and a Tatsugiri holding a Focus Sash or a Choice Scarf, I'd always take the Tatsugiri holding the Megastone because it only gets marginally faster. And does it hit harder and is it bulkier? Yes. but it's still getting one shot by fairy moves, and it's not outspeeding my Pokemon, you know, where the Focus Sash gets 2 attacks off. It could Muddy Water me. It could do a lot of things. There is no reason to run Mega Tatsugiri in your Dondozo teams. Just run it with an item, you know. Also, it's just vulnerable. It's just vulnerable. As soon as it pops out, you know, it can take the second hit, and that's like before it gets to Mega Evolve. And as far as ZA is concerned, it looks like Mega Tatsugiri will not keep Commander, and that's because Dondozo will eat regular Tatsugiri, but if it's Mega Evolved, it won't eat it in ZA. So that's interesting. So it's going to get a different ability. If it gets Drizzle, yeah, maybe it's good in singles, or even in doubles, you know, it depends. But as of right now, it's just like a slightly powered up Tatsugiri, and it's just not worth the investment. Baxcalibur. 175 attack. I'm going to say it again. This, just run regular Baxcalibur in singles, or in doubles. Regular Baxcalibur gets loaded dice, scale shot. It gets Icicle Spear. It already has a sky high attack stat. What was its regular attack stat again? 145. Yeah. Do you really need the extra 30 attack? Not really. You could also run a Clear Amulet. In doubles, regular Bax every time. In singles, I could see this Bax being scarier. I could see it being scarier. Because you can Scale Shot, and then you can Glaive Rush. You only need the Scale Shot once. You don't need to pick up a KO with Scale Shot. You just need the speed boost. At which point, like Swords Dance, Scale Shot, Earthquake, Glaive Rush, like, yeah, this thing's terrifying in singles. But in doubles, just run regular Bax. Mega Darkrai. They may have reworked Dark Void. Here's the thing. In VGC, Dark Void is one of the worst moves ever right now. Not worth it. You know, it used to be broken. Now it's only 50 accuracy. They reworked it in Legends ZA, and I'm going to take that into account because it's kind of crazy. In Legends ZA, it makes you drowsy and heals. It's like a really low base power attack. I think it's 60. But it hits both opponents. It makes them both drowsy, and it heals a little bit of damage, a little bit of health. I think that if it keeps that, this Mega Darkrai is terrifying because it has good bulk. You max out the HP, you give it like special attack, you do like Nasty Plot Dark Void, and just heal up and make things drowsy and force them to switch. It's interesting. I don't know how broken it's going to be, but like making things drowsy and forcing them to switch rather than just putting them to sleep is actually like pretty good. That's pretty good. If it doesn't get the new Dark Void, then it's just a slower, bulkier Darkrai. I think base Darkrai is just objectively better. It hits about as hard when you're just like running Nasty Plot Sash, you know. This version of Darkrai, like I think that this version is better if Dark Void gets modified, you know, but if it doesn't, it's whatever. Anyways, yeah, that's all the new megas in the DLC. I just want to give my initial thoughts on them and upload this little video. Tomorrow we'll be going over all the new moves that got changed because moves got reworked, and I want to talk about that. If you guys enjoyed, you know, leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.